Hello and welcome to another episode of Mike and Dave's Hi-Fi Riff. I'm Mike Evans.
And I'm David Price.
And David, what are we going to do on this week's riff?
Well, we thought we'd do an unboxing video, Mike.
Yay!
So
I like a good unboxing video.
Yes, they're very popular, and some people get massive amounts of views just taking something out of the box. So,
exactly.
So what have you got for us here?
We've got a phono stage. Look at this. We've got a phono stage.
It's only had a D in front.
Well, I can't. I think that's why you've got it, because I think you thought it said David Hi-Fi.
Yes.
But clearly it says AVID Hi-Fi.
If I were a manufacturer, that would be my brand name.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So here we go. Yep. Let's unbox it. Oh, It's got a box in a box.
Yep.
It's got some
instructions there. That's very good.
It's got a lead.
So that's great.
Got a lead.
Yeah.
It's got some.
Mike, let's have a look at the lead.
Oh yes, sorry. Got a lead.
Yeah.
There we are.
There you go. So get a little cover there on your plug. You
can talk about those. Look, whatever they are. You do
so
that, and I'll get the photo.
They look
stage
like
out.
shorting plugs to me.
We'll get rid of that.
So
that can go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's the unit.
There we are.
So that's fantastic. There you go.
Okay. Well,
thanks
great. For watching this week's.
Thank you for watching.
Hi-Fi Riff.
All right. Bye.
That's what unboxing videos are, aren't they? Isn't that it?
Yeah, I think so.
We don't have to do any more, do we?
No, and then we get a huge number of views.
Apparently so, for doing exactly nothing.
Yes.
Okay, well that's easy. Why didn't we do that from the first lot?
But I mean, while we're here though, we could actually review it, because
we could talk about it.
We did actually listen to it, didn't we?
We did. So first thing we need to say is it does look like it should have a D in front of it on the back.
Yes.
It really does. Which would be priceless.
What if it was
actually? Sorry. Second thing I've got to say, it was a lame joke, but it wasn't meant to be funny. Second thing I've got to say is this is the first, I believe, phono stage we've ever reviewed on Hi-Fi Riff.
Yes.
Isn't it? No, and it's interesting because you were just saying, you're making a really good point, is when we were into hi-fi when we were much younger, when we sort of started off in this strange journey, you couldn't get external phono stages, really, could you? Well, not that I can really remember. I'm really struggling.
No.
And I think the one which you said, the first sort of one which definitely I remember, and I have one, is the Michelle ISO.
Yep, the ISO.
Which was designed by a pal of ours, Tom Evans.
Yes.
Who used to come and visit me at Reading Hi-Fi.
Yep.
When I used to work there, and he used to bring all of his stuff with him, the Fenestra preamp, and some, EC Audio was the company at the time.
Yep.
And he used to bring sort of all sorts of things there, and he had this, and he made a phono stage for me.
Yeah.
Based on the ISO, and I've still got it. It's very, very cool.
It's very, very good sounding.
It's really good.
Yeah.
In fact, I've got two phono stages. I've got that, and I've got the Arcam R Phono, which actually is very good as well. And I didn't pay very much money for that off eBay. It was brand new in a box, but very, very cool.
Yeah.
But this AVID, this is the AVID Pellar Phono.
Yep.
It's really good.
It is.
It's really good, actually. It's you said something which really brought it into focus for me. When we listened to it for the first time and the first song, pretty much the first thing you said was it doesn't get in the way. And I think that is so profound, because that's what phono stages tend to do. And they can actually sort of really cause issues with the sound quality. Yeah. And good phono stages are inherently very, very neutral, and sort of don't sort of colour the sound or get in the way. But it really doesn't get in the way very much.
No, absolutely.
And I think that's a really, really great shout. I think it's a brilliant shout.
Well, I think it's about £1,000, isn't it? It's 950, I think.
Yes. Yeah.
It's very decently put together, for
compact
that
and bijou.
Price. Yeah, it's
as you'd expect.
Much less kind of rattly and shonky than a lot of cheaper designs.
Very much so.
I mean, the thing about phono stages is that they're a kind of necessary evil if you're a vinyl fan.
Good way of putting it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And back in the old days when we had our NAD 3020s or whatever, or variations on the theme, then they had pretty good phono stages built in. And actually the NAD, the NAD, had a great phono stage.
Had a great phono stage built in.
It was almost too good for the rest of the amp almost. and then we went up to name Nates and MVA AP30s and stuff like that, didn't we?
Quite often they only had a moving magnet stage built in, didn't they?
So you didn't. The need wasn't there to get one, but these days, for various reasons, we're in a much more line level world, aren't we?
We are.
So
yes.
So buying a phono stage becomes important, and that there's a balance there you have to strike with your quality of your turntable, the obviously the arm that's fitted to it, the cartridge, and the phono stage, and you can easily overkill on the phono stage or overkill on the cartridge and not have a good enough turntable, etc., etc. So it's a bit of a minefield, I think, for buyers, but nevertheless it's a necessary one to get through. And we've tried loads over the years, haven't we?
Yes.
And
you have a fave, don't
yes.
you? What's your phono stage you use at the moment?
Yeah, well, the one that I use has been out. I think it's been out of production for about 15 years, so it's not very good buying advice. But the one that I use is an ANT Audio Cora 3T SE,
and you come back to that a lot. I think,
yeah,
don't
it's
you?
a really good phono stage. It's very neutral.
Yes.
Sadly, it's not easily available. But if you're looking to buy a new one, then I think that this is an interesting place to start. So the other possibility is the Chord Electronics Huey, which is about £1,150 now in the UK.
Yeah.
This is $950, and at that level, you're going to get a very good and very capable phono stage, which will see you well, as it were, see you good for turntables right up to $5,000 to $6,000 to $7,000 if you include the cartridge and so on.
Yes.
I think it's crazy to overkill on a phono stage and have a cheap cartridge, and vice versa. You don't want to.
No, it has a place, doesn't it?
Yeah,
you
don't want to run a kind of a Lyra through a QED disc saver or something.
No.
So so this hits a sweet spot for me and for us, I think. So it's £1,000 roughly, and
that argument can also be reversed as well, can't it? Because if you've got like a good integrated amplifier, then this will definitely give you an upgrade over the bundled phono stage.
Absolutely.
But actually, if you've got a 10 grand amp, then maybe not so much. But it's kind of it's very as you say, it serves a really, really useful purpose, doesn't it?
Well, I think it would, even with a 10 grand integrated, it would still be good, but it would probably be the thing that's holding back the rest of the system.
Sure.
But the point is, if you spend like a few £100 on a phono stage, then you're going to have to buy another one before you get a sort of high end or a mid-end amp, I think.
Yes.
Was this? It sort of covers a lot of bases in terms. It's good enough. It's got moving coil and moving magnet. It's got variable gain.
It has,
there, as you can see.
It works with pretty much any cartridge. To be fair,
it does, and so not only in terms of compatibility is it good. In terms of sound quality, I think it's very, very good.
It's
indeed.
excellent. Yeah, absolutely excellent.
Yeah.
Built in Huntingdon in Cambridgeshire. So a Brit amp, and as you say, it's got some dip switches on the bottom, so we can change your impedance, from low to high, and MC and MM.
Yes,
and
gain.
Your gain. I've been using it with a moving magnet.
Yeah.
I've been using it with a Nagoka, which we did a riff on.
MP110,
and it's actually really, really brilliant with that.
Absolutely.
So it don't necessarily have to have a stonking moving coil, although obviously that makes more sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could get away with, you could run it with some like a £1,000 to £2,000 moving coil.
You really could.
A Lyra Delos would sound very nice through that on its moving coil.
Wouldn't
setting.
it ever? Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And
that'd be very cool.
and any number of its kind of rival things. So, and yet you could still be into an Audio-Technica AT 33 PTG2 or something, which is £500, that kind of thing.
Really nice cartridge. Really smart cartridge. That is great value for money. Brilliant. I think you've got some of our listening material with you, just to show off our hugely eclectic taste in weird music, which we have, which we share. Some interesting stuff. Oh yes, can you just turn your bag around, please? I've never been more jealous in my life, by the way. So, David's got a Name Audio record bag.
There you go. So,
I don't have a Name Audio record bag.
Yes.
Just for information.
Well, maybe you could get an AVID one after this, Mike. Now that you've just you can't. Now you've just plugged their rivals.
If I did, then you'd probably tip a D in front of it just to annoy me.
I would. Anyway.
Here we go. So we've got.
Here we go.
We've got. This is your neon lights album.
So take that down so you can.
Lovely. Thank you. In fluorescent vinyl.
Right. So let's just see. I don't think it's going to work tonight. So
look at that. That's really funky, isn't it? Look at that. It glows in the dark.
It glows in the dark.
It'll glow in the dark album.
Sadly, it's not really glowing in the dark at the moment.
You've had that for ages, actually. That album.
Yeah, I got this in the mid-80s.
Yeah, I was going to say, I remember you buying that.
Yeah, and it was. Yeah. I think it was £15.
Wow!
And it destroyed me financially for about a month.
God,
I was a student in Bristol.
Can you manage that?
Yeah. So there you go. Have a sniff of that, Mike.
Look at that. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is quite a stunning thing, isn't it? Wow,
that's very nice.
Amazing.
Sadly,
please do
doesn't sound as good as the black vinyl version.
Picture discs are the same, aren't they? Yeah. Picture discs never sound as good as the original vinyl. The sound quality is definitely sort of lacking, isn't it?
Yeah.
As far as I can always tell.
But perhaps some of our viewers can help us with this.
I'll help you with this.
Help me with that. So
there you go. Pop that in there. Beautiful. There we are. Done it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So so can our viewers remind us what that stuff is on watches that makes it glow in the dark? Because I think it's slightly radioactive, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Yes. So, it's like luminous paint, isn't it?
Yeah, some kind of thing like that.
Yeah, so what it's saying is we've got a radioactive Kraftwerk.
It is literally a radioactive.
I love where you can't get a record in the sleeve.
Yeah, so there you go. Okay, enough of radioactive records.
I'm sure I didn't know what the paint was, but I've forgotten now.
Yes, absolutely. So this is a great album.
That's
from
brilliant.
The 80s.
By David Sylvian.
Absolutely.
Red Guitar, I think, was the single from that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Really nicely recorded.
Yeah.
Good album. I think I would leave it in the sleeve if I were you after the last few issues we had.
So there we go.
Look, you've got nice Nagoka inner sleeve there. Look.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So
excellent. Red and green different on the flip side.
Yeah, Virgin mid 80s version.
Yeah, okay, very good. That sounded lovely.
Yeah, so just going back to the sound of the phono stage.
Yeah,
it's very neutral, isn't it?
Incredibly.
It really is. It's quite open. It's quite sort of self-effacing. It doesn't have an obvious sort of character, I'd say. No. I'd say that the Chord Electronics Huey is a little bit more analytical, and it sort of dissects things arguably slightly better, but it sort of sounds more kind of forensic, like it's kind of examining the music
Interesting.
more. With the AVID, to me, sounded more kind of natural, more sort of organic, but it's still very detailed, but just not quite so in your face. There we go. It's a brilliant mid 80s 12-inch single, obviously, of Jewel.
Claudia Brücken.
Yes.
What a great singer she is. Yeah, fantastic. Love that. Yeah. Great song as well. Top song from
A Secret Wish.
Yes, that's right. Album. Yes, and there was a song called Jewel as well as Jewel.
Yeah.
P Machinery.
Yeah.
And
brilliant.
Excellent.
Sadly, she turned down my offer of marriage. I don't think that.
Claudia, what were you thinking? This must have been before Hi-Fi Riff, before we were famous.
Yes, absolutely. Mike's just made a joke, and he's now going to laugh at it a lot. So there we go.
It's just sad that it's so true that you proposed to Claudia Brücken. There we go.
Well, she could have had it all. She could have had
is that a song?
Access to 12 different turntables. One of which has got a rebuilt Supex SD900 in it.
What can he say? It's Claudia. What were you thinking?
Married Paul Morley instead. What a waste of space.
Yes. Look, you had a choice of journalists.
So can't write for toffee.
You're just jealous. This is the Yes album.
Yes, there we go.
With
So,
I've Seen All Good People on it.
yes, this is an original 71
Yeah.
pressing of the Yes album.
I also have an original 71
Yeah.
pressing of the Yes album as
So-
well. I got from Notting Hill Record and Tape Exchange
Fantastic.
back in the day.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Actually, really nice. I really like it.
It's great. It's a
Yeah,
great album.
it is brilliant.
Excellent.
It really is brilliant.
So,
John Anderson's voice on that is particularly excellent.
absolute classic album, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
very much so.
1971, so, just launching off into the prog era there.
Yeah.
And this, to me, this can sound quite shrill, actually, with some
It can.
cartridges.
Well, having a
and
mare.
things. I'm
I'm
having a really bad day.
any
with
more
getting
of these
things.
out.
So,
Yeah.
But we've got one more, so there we go. Meet El Presidente from the Duran Duran's second from last album of the 80s.
Notorious.
Penultimate 80s album.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to take that out of the
No,
out
please
of the
don't.
jacket,
Please don't.
because
no, rather you didn't.
this may run on if I do.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
Um,
well, the joke will. Yeah, it's okay. It's not my favourite Duran album, but
No.
it sounds pretty good. It sounds pretty tasty. Was that a Nile Rodgers production?
I'm not sure, actually.
You can't tell because it's all in Japanese because you've got a Japanese pressing.
Well, I think I'd better take it out and find
No, honestly, no, please
So
don't.
let me just take the... so there we go.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But so this had Notorious was a single, Skin Trade I think was the other
Yes.
one, wasn't it? So
I think it's a great album. It's really grown on me
has it?
over the years.
I'm not a
And
non-Durani fan.
It is indeed a Nile Rodgers
production. There we are.
1986.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, no wonder it sounds so good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, brilliant.
So,
Brilliant. Because of course then they went on to do Power Station and stuff like that, didn't they? And all that Arcadia and
but this
all
is
those
an
spin-offs.
this is a sort of unappreciated album. It's still a good one, but
There we are. And you just wanted to bring this just to show if you've got a Japanese pressing. Let's do a riffometer. On the AVID Pellar Phono stage. What do you reckon? What are you going to give this out of 10?
I mean, I'm going to give that a solid 9. I really liked it. I think that you're going to struggle to get something that's as good an all-rounder as that at that price.
Yeah.
It's like a kind of baby high-end phono stage rather than a kind of overpriced, budget one, as it were.
Yes. Yeah.
I think I don't know. I've not heard the higher-end AVID phono stages, but if they're anything like that, they're going to be very good.
Yeah, 100%.
And this is basically using kind of trickled-down circuitry. Basically, it's a sort of
Very nice.
shrunk in the wash high-end AVID phono
Very nice.
stage, and I do like it. So.
Well, look, for me, it's 9 all day long.
Yeah.
Best phono stage I've heard under £1,000.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
there we go.
and it's moving. It's got moving coil and moving magnet functionality. It's what you really need.
Yeah.
Phono stages that only do one or the other.
Really nicely built.
Yeah. It's
really proper bit of
well
kit.
built as you can expect. Absolutely feels very solid, and sounds it too.
Yes.
And no massive kind of character, so it doesn't flatter one type of music over another particularly.
No, top result, Avid.
yeah.
Well done. Very beautiful piece of
Yeah.
lovely British hi-fi right there. There we are. On that note,
Do you want to put it back in the box?
let's put it back in the box.
No.
It'll take an hour. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Mike and Dave's Hi-Fi Riff, and we will very much look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.